got this set up correctly. Happy Sunday night, guys. I hope your weekend was amazing. Mine was. It was the first time I've been home in like, I don't know, a month. So it was really nice to be at home and get some stuff done. Okay, cool. I'm up live. So here we go. Happy Sunday night, guys. This is Tara with Tarabeth Stamps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in mid-Missouri. And if you're on tonight, give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here watching with me. Tonight we have a fun fold card, of course. I don't know what's going on with my video here. It's not very clear. Is that clear for you guys? I don't know. That looks really, really wonky. For are watching. Hey, is this very clear, you guys? I feel like on my screen it's not clear at all. Let me see if I can't. Okay, there we go. Maybe I just had something on my lens. Ew. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. So tonight we're doing a triple panel card. This is the first one I've ever made. And so I'm using a couple of sneaky peeks. Hey, Jalen, thanks for joining. Yes, it's clear now. Thank goodness. So I'm using a couple of sneaky peeks. So this is Celebratory Sips DSP. So this is going to be available in May. So this is an online exclusive, maybe. I don't know. Hey, Johnny. Thanks so much for joining. So that's the paper that we're using. And then we're using tags, totes, and notes, DSP, or stamp set. And I'm looking around for it. I must have stashed it in a really safe spot. That's what I get for trying to work ahead. Here it is. So here's the totes and notes stamp and die set. So this is a really fun stamp set. Oh, thank you, Karen. So it is an online exclusive. For some reason, I was thinking the sticker sheets are in the annual catalog. That's what was throwing me off. But anyway, this makes the cutest little tote bags. There's a couple of different ones. It's got a fence here. You've got dies to make sunglasses, water bottles, a handkerchief for your bag. So lots of cute little things that you can do with this set. So this is a absolutely fun bundle. Then what I did here, this outside border, is I used the impression bloom. So this is, and yet another sneaky peek. So it's two different pieces. So there's this one, and then there's this outside die that gives you the stitched look. So there's a stamp set that goes with this. And here it is. Beautiful. Couple of new little things. Sneaky peeks showing you guys what's coming up. Love, love, love the new stuff that's coming out. So tonight we're going to go ahead and get this card put together. And let's get to it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to layer up some DSP. So as I said, this is Celebratory Sips. Now I'm going to have couple of things I got to stamp first. So this is going on the back side. So I'm just going to do this one little hibiscus, and I'm going to do it with Blackberry Bisque. Hey, Angie, thanks for rolling in. Hope you had a great weekend. So we're going to ink this hibiscus stamp up with some Blackberry Bisque and just put it on the corner here. Just a little bit. Give that a wipe. And then I'm going to go ahead and close this up. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment and let it dry for a minute. Blackberry Bliss is one of those cards that has a lot of pigment, so it can take a minute to dry. So you've got to be careful because sometimes it will smear if you're not real careful. So I'm going to pull that in just a little bit. We'll set that off to the side and let that kind of cure a little bit. Okay, now we'll close the Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so I've got two different sizes of peach pie cardstock. So these are measuring 2 1/8 by 5 3/8. And so these are going on the front center panel and on the inside center panel. Ida, thanks for joining. Got a couple of new faces. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. All right, so I'm going to slap this on here with some seal. So basically what I'm doing first is just getting my layers done so that I can build my card base. Look how pretty this floral page is. And I love this stripe. If you've been here before, you've watched me before, you know that my favorite color is orange. So this one is right up my alley. Loving, loving, loving it all. All right, now I've got these two cocktails because nothing yells beach and spring to me like a little cocktail with an umbrella. And right there we've got it. Little sangria, although I don't think I've ever drank sangria. But I do like drinks with a cocktail, with a fancy umbrella. So I'm just adhering this, making sure that I'm getting nice and straight and get that nice little border that I love. Oh, Central Iowa. I'm down here in Columbia, Missouri. You've probably heard of that. So I live just north of Columbia. In a little bitty town. It's like 1,000 people. That's it. All right. So here we go. So I've got those 4 layers done. And we're ready to get our card base ready. Let's do that. Hey, Amy, thanks for joining. So I've got a normal piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. And I'm going to take my stylus and I am going to look at my notes here so I don't mess up. I'm going to score at 2. I'm going to score at 3 1/8. I'm going to score at 5 3/8 and 6 1/2. And I'm going to run through all of those real quick again. So 6 1/2, 5 3/8, 3 1/8, and then 2. Only because I want this really deeply burnished because this is one of those fun folds that's going to pop up if we don't get it good and creased. All right, so the way I found it works best is this is your center panel. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to fold over at that second score line. And I'm going to burnish really good with my fantastic on-stage bone folder. Thank you. Had a wonderful time last week in Raleigh. Got to see a lot of new things. Got to play with a lot of new things. It was a fantastic time. Okay, so I've scored at the second notch score line on each side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold back. And so this is going to meet in the center. And you'll notice I'm really digging into that burnish. So had a lot of great stuff we saw. New catalog. Be watching out for my paper share information. That's probably going to come out a week from tomorrow. Because I want to make sure I get everything in there. All right, so there we are. So this is what pops this up. So it's going to stand like that. So this is one of those mantelpiece cards, like I like to call them. So yeah, paper share, lots of good stuff. You can grab that stuff as early as Tuesday, I believe it is. If you're interested, reach out to me. I can tell you how you can get that stuff early because there's a lot of good stuff. If you're a scrapbooker, ooh, there's so much. All right, so I'm putting this on the inside. It's making me want to dig out all my scrapbooking stuff and all my old pictures and get busy. All right, now I'm going to put this on the side. And so I want to make sure, okay, so that's the top or the bottom. I want to make sure I have it going the right direction. It wouldn't be a hard fix, but let's not make any mistakes if we can keep from it. Also, Karen and I have another card class using the framed framed scenes set. That is a masculine card class, because you know those are hard cards to get done. So you'll come away with 6 masculine cards. You can also convert them into sympathy cards. Really great. Hey, Mary, thanks for joining. You kind of snuck in on me. All right, so there we go. So that deadline for that class is Tuesday. So if you need information, give me a shout. I'll get it to you. All right, so this is your card base. So what I kind of recommend when you're making fun folds like this is the best thing to do is kind of make a template out of just plain cardstock. Kind of like this. You can put your dimensions on here, where to score, where to cut, and keep this in your, like, in a drawer where they're all at, so you can easily reference them. All right, so there's the card base. Cute, cute, cute. You can always add DSP here if you want to, but it doesn't really show when it's standing for the most part because it's like this. See? So I didn't do that. Okay. Now, I'm going to take these die cuts from the Impressions of Bloom set. This is a set coming out in January. And I left this in the die to kind of show you. So you get this big die cut. This is the regular. This is the regular one that so this came out of this one. You also get a smaller one. And then you get this stitched one. So I'm going to pull this out very carefully because it is loosey-goosey because it's fairly large. And I'm going to pull out my silicone mat because this could get gross. So I'm going to glue that right on top of there. So I'm going to give it just a little bit of seal and flip it over. And I'm using my silicone mat because I don't want glue everywhere. I'm not super crazy about liquid adhesive. Liquid adhesive and I don't get along. I'm more of a heavy-handed person. So I have a problem just using a little bit. I'm doing pretty good here though. We had some storms move in last night. I didn't sleep worth a hoot. And I've had a big day because Karen and I had a class this afternoon. But luckily the kids have been gone all day, so that was nice. So I've been able to rest in between. Okay, careful, careful, pat, pat. Whoop. And you'll see that it kind of hangs over just a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right. So move that silicone mat and oops, that came up a little bit. And then I think I'm going to use a little bit of a seal plus. And I'm going to run a couple of pieces right across the center. And that's where this is going to go. And then we're going to create our little tote scene. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't cut out my beach. But that's okay, because I've got crumb cake right here. Let's see if I have a piece that'll fit. Okay, so where's my dies? Where's my dies? There we go. We'll just do a whole big cut. Now, unfortunately, I think this is too big to go through the mini cut and emboss. Ooh, I think it'll fit. There we go. That'll make things a little bit easier. Okay. Now, I'm going to sandwich this up. And I'm not going to cut this whole piece because I really don't need that much. So I'm just going to cut up this top portion. There we go. All right, so if I did this correctly, this should fit right there. Yes. It looks a little big, but it'll be fine. Now let me throw that die over there so I don't lose it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my Notes and Totes stamp set, and I'm going to add the sand there. And I'm going to just turn my ink pads 4 times because that's what's going to be necessary. So I'm going to add some little sand doohickeys. Just stamping the sand randomly. Here we go. Now, we don't want our sand to be perfectly straight because I've never seen sand straight. So we're going to give it a little cut here. Just kind of make our own little curving there. Okay. Let's glue it right down there. So there's our sand. Now, I've die cut a whole bunch of other things I did ahead of time. So you have this cute little tote die, which if you see, you can fold this and create your own little bag, tote, whatever you want to call it. So see, it's super cute. And see, this will bend up and fold up there. And see, you've gotten this nice little bag. And that's really what I wanted for this, but it turned out to be too big. So what we're doing instead is we're making just like a shopping bag, like a shopping tote bag. So I want to take Petunia Pop ink. Hey, Laura, thanks for joining. And we've got these little hibiscus. Are these hibiscus? Yeah, I think they are. And we're just going to stamp them randomly on our tote bag. Now I'm going to do a little bit up here at the top. Kind of like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to trim away here. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to trim at the score lines. Okay. And then this creates just a different sort of tote. Now here's the scary part. We've got to do more adhering here. So I've got my stitching up at the top. So that's going to be the very top. And then I can use seal on this. That may make me happier. So I'm going to line my tote up at the corner there. And then it should meet at the corner over on this side. And I'm going to just flip this over and trim my tote there. Except, you know what I should have done? I should have adhered these two first. But I didn't. And we're going to make it work. All right. Actually, we're going to put our bags, straps, kind of together. And here is the handle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere. Yep, that's how we're going to have to do it. I'm going to put a dot there and a dot there. And I'm going to adhere the handles together. There we go. And then right here. And so the silicone mat, once again, is helping with any of that glue that's oozing out because I got heavy-handed. Now what we're going to do So we're gonna adhere that right there. And I'm just going to cut a little snip off the bottom of each one of these bags. And I used the perforations to kind of guide me. All right, that's gonna work. That's not gonna be too much. So I'm gonna add a little bit of adhesive here, a little bit here, and then a little bit there. So the other thing the silicone mat does is it gives you a little more time with liquid adhesive. So it keeps it kind of wet. All right, so here is our bag. So it's a little too high, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, now I'm gonna take some dimensionals. We're gonna build our scene here. We've got a couple of starfish. We've got a starfish and we've got another seashell that we're gonna add on. And then I think we're done. Easiest card ever. Super cute. These, I love this set. Anything with the beach, I'm all about. It's my happy place. All right. Ooh, I put that too low. All right, I wonder if I can put the "You Are Fabulous" way too low here. Okay, don't panic. We got this. I'm gonna peel this up just a little bit. Bend that back. I'm gonna pull this up a little higher. There we go. And then our beach bag will go real crooked right there. There we go. All is not lost. Okay. We will take a dimensional and put it on our seashell. Thanks, Mary. I'm glad you like it. We're going to just put him right there. So you're not seeing a whole lot of the sand, but it still kind of kicks off and makes it look perfect. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive to our starfish. And we're going to put him right here on our bag. Now what we need is we need some little seashell embellishments. That's what we need. Let's see what we've got. No, I don't want to use those. Ooh, I like these. These are one of my favorites. We'll use some of the iridescent faceted pearls. Let's see here. Put one right there. We'll pair him with a little guy. There we go. And then put one right up by the bag. All right, so this is a triple panel card. First one I've ever made. Kind of enjoyed it. This is a fun fold for me. So there you go. Flip it open, and then there's your area for your thing. Let's do our envelope and we'll be done. Like I said, registration ends for our framed scenes card class on Tuesday. Tuesday is also pre-order for any demonstrator that did not make it to on stage. So if you're not a demonstrator and you've seen some things that I've shown you tonight that you can't live without, give me a shout. I'll explain how we can get it to you early. It would be awesome for you to get that early with some free shipping along with it. And who doesn't love free shipping? I love free shipping. All right, I'm going to give this just a little trim. And I think I'm going to do one last stamp set here. Let's just do a little petunia pop here on the corner. There we go. All right, so there's today's card, triple panel card. Couple of fun sneaky peeks. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'll be back next Sunday night with another card tutorial. This week we've got a couple of blog hops. Don't miss out on those. If you've got any questions, reach out to me, and you guys have an amazing week. Thanks for spending part of your weekend with me.